Good afternoon. My name is Jaspreet Sunda. I am one of the STEAM coordinators for the Division of Instruction, and I'm joined today by Jerry Song, who is the other STEAM coordinator for the Division of Instruction. Thank you for joining us, and today we will be discussing STEAM certification. And since all of you have been selected by your local district to participate, we're having a short orientation meeting to discuss our Schoology course that all of you will be enrolled in, and the requirements, deadlines, and the supports that we're offering all of you to be successful in the STEAM certification program. Before we begin, here are some tips. Please make sure that you close any application that uses bandwidth. We want to make sure that there's no one gets disconnected. If you have questions, and I'm pretty sure there will be many questions, please post them in the Q&A window. You can select the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. And then feel free to take notes. This webinar is being recorded and it will be posted on Schoology. The Schoology course that all of you will be enrolled in soon. The agenda for today is that we're going to talk about the school's facilitation team. We will also discuss the LAUSD STEAM certification Schoology course, the timeline, the supports that we are offering all of you, and what happens after your school becomes certified. And once again, this presentation will be on the Schoology course after today's meeting. So I want to go over the purpose of the certification. The purpose is that we want to help schools identify qualities that they can use to calibrate, refine, and validate their STEM programs based on the LAUSD framework and rubric. So the rubric is a guideline for schools who want to be considered certified STEAM and STEM schools. And it's also a way to guide schools who are not certified to help them guide their programs to become STEAM or STEM certified. So if you recall in the application, we asked you to have a facilitation team. And the facilitation team consists of one administrator, and this one administrator will be assigned the portfolio slide assignment, and that portfolio slide assignment is going to be the portfolio you submit to us in June. We ask one teacher be a part of the facilitation team and one member of the school's choice. So it's a minimum of 3 members. We've received emails asking for more than 3 members, and you're perfectly welcome to have more than 3 members, but we're asking for a team of 3. And for any administrator that's on this webinar, we are asking you to complete a Google form, and the link to the Google form is in the beige box. And the reason we're asking you to complete this Google form is that it is to verify that the people that you've recommended in the application to be part of this facilitation team are the same members. We know that, sometimes throughout the year, members change, people, get different positions mid-year. So we want to make sure that we have the official facilitation team. We're asking for their emails, their names, and their position. So I know Jerry will post the link to this Google form in the chat. So I want to give all administrators about a minute to click on the link and make sure you have it on a screen. And we will also be emailing the principals this link as well on Monday, so they can, if you didn't have time to complete the Google form during this presentation, you can, we'll have it Monday so we can have it soon. So what are the responsibility of the facilitation team? So these are our expectations. Since it is a small group of 3, one expectation is that you educate others at your school site about the STEAM STEM certification. And you can do this by having faculty meetings, one-on-one meetings, department meetings. But we want to make sure that you educate your staff at your school site about the certification. And it's important to educate them because we want to make sure that you have the buy-in of your staff. In the past, we've noticed administrators and the teams that have school buy-in, those are the schools that are successful in passing the certification. And it's also a way for you to make aware or make your staff aware of what's going on. And we ask you to take the resources from the Schoology course and also share that with your staff as well. Also, the facilitation team is the one that is going to be developing the school's portfolio. And what I mean by developing it is that you'll be the group that will be collecting artifacts from different teachers, different events that you have going on, and writing the justification of how those artifacts promote your STEAM program in your schools based on the rubric. Another expectation is that the facilitation team that you have, they're the ones that collaborate with the other schools and other teams that are involved in the certification process. And the reason why we want you to collaborate is that if you talk to schools in the past, it is an intensive process. It's gonna, you're gonna be reflecting on the practices that are going on in your school. You're going to be looking at your teaching practices. You're gonna be looking at the programs, the events that you have going on in your school site. And sometimes you need an outsider's point of view to see, does this connect? Does this make sense? So through the Schoology course, we're asking you to, through the discussion board, to give each other advice on different elements of your portfolio. It's also an opportunity where you can also go and make those connections, make a network where you're sharing your portfolio with other schools in the certification process to make sure that your justifications, your artifacts, they connect, they're clear, they make sense, and they actually promote and highlight the STEAM program at your school. And then the last expectation is that the administrator of the facilitation team, they are the ones who will be submitting the portfolio at the in June, because they are the ones who the portfolio is assigned to. So I want to take a minute for everyone to log into the Schoology course that we have. The access code is GTK9 9FGK WTNQH. And Jerry says, Jerry will also be going through the Schoology course in a minute. So, we would like to make sure that all of you are there so you can see what Jerry will be showing. And I think someone asked a question. Yes, and then Jerry did also put the code in the chat as well.
Good afternoon. Once again, the code is in the chat, so if you need it, please get it from there. The Schoology group that we just asked you to join is this one right here, LAUSD STEAM Certification 2020-2021. Right now, I'm going to show you the materials that are here. You're going to see some of these immediately and some of these you won't see. Okay, so for example, we have the presentation that we're going off right now that's here, but as you can see, it's kind of grayed out. That means it's not published at the moment. Immediately after this webinar, we will publish it. And then so you'll be able to see it once you're in the group. All right, so then let's start with the parking lot. So the parking lot here is nothing more than a Schoology discussion group. And right here, if you have any questions throughout the certification process, please feel free to put your questions or your comments in here. And then we will make sure to go in here and answer any questions that we can. If another school has the answer to a question that's in the parking lot, feel free to answer, to comment on that question and provide them with the answer as well. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our main materials page. Next, we have the STEAM Certification Awareness Meeting. This is what we had before for the schools that were interested when you applied to be, when you applied for the certification process. And so the recording of the webinar is right here. If you want to watch that, feel free to do that. You can also look at the FAQ that came out of that meeting, and you can click on these. By the way, both of these and more are on our LAUSD STEAM website. And the easiest way to get there really is just to Google LAUSD STEAM. It'll be the first post that shows up. All right, so again, you're going to see the presentation right here from today, and you'll be able to see through it and go back and review it. And again, this webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be here as well. So if you need to go back to refer to something, you can do that. Now, we have this also on our website, but you can also get it directly from here. So inside the Schoology group in this folder, you're going to see the framework for the certification for this year and the rubric for this year, okay? And each of these, you can just click on them. They are PDFs. They take you directly to the documents, and you can read them directly here in Schoology, okay? You can also download it here, and you can put it in, download it as a PDF as well. All right, so let's go back here. So once again, the framework and the rubric are here. So this right here, the school's STEM certification portfolio. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually assign these portfolios, not to everyone. We're just going to assign it to the administrator that's on the school facilitation team. So the person who completed that Google form for the team members, I'm going to look on there, and if you're the administrator who filled it out, basically that person is going to be assigned this Google Drive assignment. Okay, and so if you're familiar with Google Drive assignments, which is kind of one of my favorite features of Schoology, you can actually see right here that here's the rubric embedded STEM portfolio template that you're going to work on. If you click on, well, on yours, it's going to say My Document. And if you click on My Document, you're going to be able to see the actual document right here, okay? And then what we're going to ask, actually, let me show you right now. So, okay, let me take you to the rubric right here, the rubric embedded STEM portfolio template. So this is the template right here, okay? This is the cover. And this, if you're not familiar, because again, we've kind of used the outside borders of the slide. And sometimes I believe the default is it's going to be showing this full screen. And so you may not be able to see everything. And so this little animated GIF kind of walks you through how to change the view settings so you can see everything. Basically, you just go up here to view, click on zoom, and choose one of these right here that fits best, allowing you to see everything. And what I mean by everything is when you go to one of these slides, you'll see that there are little markers here on the left and the right. And then you're going to see here, this is the actual rubric. The rubric, this is what we mean by the embedded rubric. So in each one of these, rather than having to go back to the rubric, we've actually put a little screenshot of the actual rubric right here so that you can refer to it, you can look at it, and it gives you an idea as to what you're going to be doing here. So once again, each school administrator is going to be assigned this template right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to create your school's portfolio, STEAM certification portfolio right here. Okay, and you're going to do it in this document. But because you're going to be working as a team and we didn't assign this to every single member, what you have to do as the administrator is to basically share this document. Click on share right up here. And then you're going to put in the email addresses of all your team members. So anybody who needs to see this template, as well as work on the template, you need to make sure you share it with them so that they can actually, your whole team can be working on this. However, when it comes time in June to actually submit it, inside of here, you're going to be able to click on the submission button to let us know that you are ready, it's done, this is for the final evaluation, and then you're submitting it, okay? If you submit it by accident, I believe there is a unsubmit button as well. All right, so and then what we will be able to do is, because this is a Schoology Google Drive assignments, we'll be able to go here to in progress, and we'll be able to see all of our the administrators here, and we can click on these and we can see their document that they're working on. And then we can provide you feedback, okay? Once they're completed, they'll be right here. All right, so let's go back to this page right here. Now, that's the portfolio that will be assigned to you later, okay? And then, so this is now where the meat of the work is going to happen for you, okay? In terms of your learning to help you to work on your portfolio, to create your portfolio. What you're gonna do is right here in Vision, you can see there's an article, okay, for you to read. And then we're gonna do a little discussion, okay? We're gonna do a little share out, okay? This share out here is actually to share your school's vision statement. And what's nice about this is the fact that it's a discussion. You'll be able to comment on other people's visions. You'll be able to see their visions, and they can comment on yours and provide feedback, okay? So again, Schoology offers the ability for us to all really kind of, collaborate and work together on this. Here is the actual rubric, okay? If you just click on that, it takes you to just the vision pages. So you don't have to go through the entire rubric to find vision. It's all right there laid out for you, okay? And then, so then we have the discussion here for the rubric. So we're gonna ask you to read. And once you do that, then you're gonna actually do a little discussion right here, okay? And I'll let you read the directions on there. And other additional resources are located right here for you to look at, okay? So let's go back and you'll see, okay, so you can see that these two right now are not grayed out, which means that you will be able to see them, okay? And if you can see them, so these two are ready to go. And so you're gonna be working on these right now. Again, all of this is happening asynchronously. There's no time limits. It's meant to support your portfolio development. Okay, so your school's team can go through this together, and or separately, and again, build your knowledge to help you to create your portfolio. All right, so we have again the STEM culture. You can see right there. You can see all the different assignments or the discussions and so forth right here as well. Okay. All right. Finally, the one that you will be able to see right now is the digital tips and resources. Okay, and again, if you need any help, again, we're going to actually be utilizing a little tool called Cami to help you annotate. And this is something our district purchased for us. And so definitely, this could be really handy. And as we do our readings, we're going to utilize this tool to annotate the actual text. And I just got a text from Jaspreet saying that she approved everybody. So thank you very much. So you should all be able to see this Schoology page now. All right. And again, these grayed out ones, we're still working on them. Once they're complete, we will publish them. We'll be publishing about 1 or 2 per week, so that you can view them and work on them, again, asynchronously on your own time as needed. There's no order to these. You can jump around, as you work on your portfolio. If you want to go back to vision, you can absolutely do that, okay? So again, this is the Schoology course that you're all in. And again, this is where the majority of the work for the STEAM certification process is going to take place. All right, Jaspreet, back to you.
So we've already passed the preparation part, and that was the application, the awareness meeting, and the LD selection process. Now we're in the portfolio development. And someone asked, is this a 2-year process? And the answer is yes. The focus of this year is the portfolio. So our Schoology course is open, And those are the learning sessions. And it says it'll be open through May, but it'll be open until the whole process is completed. So it'll be open from January 2021, which is now, all the way up until probably the end of next school year, since this is a 2-year process. We ask that you start doing or start going through the asynchronous course and start working on your portfolio. And as you share the portfolio links with your team members and you start developing it, Jerry and I will be providing constant feedback on the portfolio, and that will be done through Schoology. And so you'll have that continuous feedback. And if you want specific feedback on a specific element or a specific section of the portfolio, email Jerry and me, and then we'll give you more detailed feedback. And the feedback is to actually just support you on making your portfolio perfect. So when it comes to the submission, which is June 6th, that Jerry and I and the other local district student coordinators can score them very quickly. And the reason why we're providing a portfolio feedback is that in the past, when these learning sessions were face-to-face, we used to have a peer review at the end. And during that peer review, each school was giving each other feedback on their portfolio. But because we don't have that luxury to be face-to-face right now, and Jerry and I haven't found the way to conduct a virtual peer feedback session, we decided to provide schools feedback on a continuous basis. And this way you can simultaneously improve your portfolio as well as continue to add other pieces. The portfolio is due June 6th. And, say that by June 6th comes around, you discover that your portfolio isn't ready, or maybe, your staff and your school team, you weren't ready to go through the process. We do offer extensions. And the way to get an extension is that you would just email Jerry and myself, and then you can say, we need more time to work on the portfolio, and maybe you'll be certified the following year or the year after that, depending on what is the best for you. But for those schools that do submit their portfolio on June 6th, our goal is to have all the portfolios scored by August 27th of 2021. And I know some of you have questions. I have built in question answering time, so that's why I'm going to quite quickly go through this. And so the minimum score is 80 points, and that was also in the awareness meeting. But if you want more detail on the score, I will also provide that. And then the goal is, if your portfolio meets the minimum points of 80, next school year, we will be conducting validation visits. And the point of the validation is to see, the visits are to see that what you state in your portfolio, the justifications, the images that you use, the videos that you put in your portfolio, the agendas, the lesson plans, what you use in the portfolio, does it truly demonstrate what's going on? And the reason why we're conducting the validation visits next school year is that we're crossing our fingers that schools will reopen during the 2021-2022 school year. But for example, if schools do not open, Jerry and I are exploring ways that we can virtually conduct validation visits. And so the validation window is from September 2021 to April 2022. And we'll be giving you a Google form where you can select the dates you would like Jerry and I to come visit. And then in May of 2022, that is when we hope we can submit all of your names to the board for the final approval. Okay, so supports for certification. We will be holding STEAM certification office hours on the second and third Thursday of every month. And the Zoom link for those office hours is below. And don't worry, we will send the Zoom link again in an email that we'll be sending out on Monday to all the principals And for those who have completed the Google form, we'll also include your certification team members as well. Another support is that we'll be providing feedback on the portfolios throughout the process. And that way, it'll be direct feedback, actionable feedback, everything, so we know that the language you're using, the artifacts that you use in your portfolio, they truly demonstrate and highlight your STEAM program. And then along with the email that you will be receiving, we want to set up an initial school meeting with each school. And this is a 30-minute one-on-one meeting with the school and the facilitation team. And this way, Jerry and I can provide, more detailed information about the certification process, answer any individual questions that you might have regarding your school and the certification process. And we want to make sure that you have time to come up with these questions with your team members. So we're planning on starting these meetings in February, but you will be getting a link to schedule these meetings as well. And then Jerry, the next slide, I know we're almost at the 4 o'clock meeting, but just to let you know, once your school is certified, it is a validation for 4 years. So you'll be certified with 4 years. There is an annual reflection, which is a Google form where, it's just once you're certified, and every year we want schools to reflect on your program, if it's meeting your needs, if something went wrong, if you need additional support, say there's an administration change, just a way so that you can keep reflecting, keep refining, and keep your program going. And then we will conduct a validation visit in year 2. So we'll come and, just walk around and see, how things are going. It's also an opportunity for us to meet you face-to-face, hopefully. And then all schools, no matter where you are in the certification timeline, or even once you get certified, you have your local STEAM coordinators as well, the DOI STEAM coordinators for support. So don't think that just once you're certified, you're done. You don't need it. There's no one there to support you. Just, be aware that we're always here to support you. We're always here to help you grow your STEAM program. So to let you know, where the support will be there continuously. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to answer the questions that you have in the question answer box, but just to let you know, the Division of Instruction Coordinators, that's myself and Jerry Song, our emails are right there. You have all the local district STEAM coordinators emails to your right. And then below the Division of Instruction STEAM coordinators, we also have an LA Unified STEAM TK12 Schoology group. In that Schoology group, Jerry and I are posting resources, virtual field trips being offered by different organizations. We do have a STEAM collaborative that's developing resources, and they're mainly lessons that are up there, plus a few job aids on how to use Zoom for instructional purposes. So we have this all in our Schoology group, which is different than the Schoology course that you joined today. And then our website is achieve.lausd.net/STEAM. And on our website, we have our STEAM Bites, which is once a month, 30-minute presentations from professionals. We do have resources as well as on our website and some other information. But I do want to start answering questions because I know I want to honor everyone's time. Okay, so it says, someone asked, what are the dates for the portfolio? Is there a cutoff at the bottom? So the portfolio is, the final submission date is June 6th of this year. And the reason why it's June 6th is because we want to make sure we have the portfolio before everyone goes on break. And then for the feedback part, there is no cutoff in the feedback until the end of May. And the reason why is that because we want to make sure that you get your final feedback in May, and then you have time from May 31st to June 6th to, do all the loose ends and finish everything up and make sure everything is refined. So the feedback will be continuously, it's ongoing. Since there's 20 schools that are new, and then there is, we have another group of 28 schools who did not complete the process from last year, who are also be working on their portfolio. So we have a total of about 48 schools that need to complete their portfolios. So don't think that once you post something, you're going to get feedback the next day. Give Jerry and me a few days to provide you that feedback if you've done something new or you change something. And if it's something immediately, you need feedback immediately on, email Jerry and I, and then we can actually, focus in and look on your portfolio. So to let you know for that. Can you please share again how to open the document where you're putting everything? If that's referring to the portfolio, and if the portfolio will be shared with the administrator. So it'll be in Schoology. I don't think we have not assigned the portfolio yet to every administrator yet, because we're still waiting for everyone to complete the Google form that we've sent out. But once you're an administrator, we're going to assign you the assignment. And then once you go into the assignment, hit create assignment or copy assignment, and then you'll copy the portfolio document to your LAUSD Gmail apps account. So everything is connected to your LAUSD Google account. So make sure you're signed into Google through LAUSD. And then once you go into your Google LAUSD Google account, you'll just hit share like Jerry showed an image of. And if you need more help on that, just email Jerry and me, and we can also support you with that, how to share it with everyone. When I tried to open the slides for today, it said I needed access. The reason why the slides are not posted yet is because I think, Jerry, we have to unpublish them, and then we will be also adding this video. And Veronica, you says, can you approve me, please? I thought I approved everyone in the course, but if not, I think Jerry will approve you. Will the 30-minute meeting be held during the school day? The introductory meeting will have a variety of times. Some will give you, we're going to be using a Google form, and some meeting times that you can select will be during the school day, and then some will be after 3 o'clock. So there'll be a variety of times that you can select from. So we're trying to meet everyone's needs. So yes, there will be options for during school and after school, but there will be no options for Saturdays. We want to make sure everyone gets their Saturdays. Okay, I think Jerry is working on providing Veronica access. Someone asked, many of our STEM activities are done in person. Can we submit artifacts from in-person instruction from prior years? So we're saying that you can use the STEAM artifacts from last year. We want schools to try to capture a lot of STEM activities, with our students through the virtual platform. The idea is just because we're doing virtual learning, it doesn't mean that the STEM learning should stop. So it would be nice to have a combination of both, what you've done in person and what you can do, or what your teachers have done through the virtual platform, either Zoom or the different types of platforms out there. And I know it sounds difficult, but many schools have done virtual open house, virtual back to school nights, and we've even have some schools actually host a virtual STEAM family night. So so we're asking, we want to know and we want to see, how do you display your STEAM learning with our kids through different environments? So if you have access to both, that would make your portfolio even stronger, because then we know that you don't do STEAM in person only, that your skills and the skills that your teachers, have, it's they can demonstrate, the whole STEAM learning through a virtual platform. And also when we talk about this, the virtual platform, we have to think, even if we go hybrid, and if students have the option to be pure virtual or pure in person or pure hybrid model, we have to make sure that all of our students have access to a STEAM education, if that's what we're saying that we're providing our kids. So is June 6th the weekend? I think someone's asking that part. So yes, you can provide in-person and virtual artifacts. Okay. So June 6th is a Sunday. And the reason why we kept it on a Sunday is because we know a lot of teachers do work on the weekend. So yes, I know it's a Sunday, but remember, you can submit your portfolio before June 6th. We just want to make sure we have it by June 6th. Is a portfolio supposed to be completed by the STEAM team, or will teachers at the school site be able to work on the portfolio? So depending on how you share your portfolio, it can be the STEAM team, or it can be your school, other teachers at the school site. But it's the administrator who is going to be the one who submits the final portfolio to us. The reason why we didn't give access to everyone on the STEAM team to the portfolio is that, we want one portfolio from a school. We don't need 20 different versions from a school. But if the administrator decides to share the portfolio with everyone at that school site and they want all the teachers to work on it, that's fine. I would recommend that if all the teachers are working on the portfolio, that you have one person who does a final review to make sure that everything looks the same, that your justifications are done, or the language in your justification, it sounds like one person wrote everything. You don't want to make it sound like 10 people. You don't want it to sound like 10 people's voices. You want one voice, one clean look. And the reason why I say that you want it to look as, very, very nice is that if a board member asks us to see your portfolio, which they do, we email them the link. So like, if Gomez says, I want to see, I know San Fernando Middle School is part of this portfolio. If she says, oh, I want to see San Fernando Middle School's portfolio, then we do have to share the link with the board member. So we want to make sure that there is a one voice across the whole portfolio, but it is up to you if you want to share it with many people or not, or just one person or the team. What are the rules governing recording students? Just make sure you have your releases for all the students. And that's usually, everyone usually does releases in the, it's in the the school opening packet where you have student releases and everything. And so we follow that format. So that's about recording students. And it's up to a student if they want to be recorded or not. So I don't say, you record every student. If there's a kid that doesn't mind being recorded, that's, I would use that kid first of all, and make sure you have the releases, please. Office hours are from 3 to 4. I forgot to mention that. I apologize, but they're from 3 to 4. Do we need special permission for photos from Zoom? I am not sure about that question. From my understanding, if they're your students, they're your photos, your screenshots. But that is one question that I need to look further into.
And I would probably talk to your school administrators. They can probably give you the best guidance on that.
Yes. I know it's 4:12. Jerry and I will be around for a few more minutes, but thank you for staying, and I'm sorry for rushing through everything. We wanted to make this a quick 30-minute meeting, because we know all of you are so busy and it's Friday and we wanted you to enjoy your weekend. But we'll be here if you have any other questions. And if over the weekend you have, a question pops into your head, please email Jerry and myself, and then, or you can also go to the parking lot in the Schoology course and ask your question there as well. And that way everyone can, have the response to the question. So it's all up to you. But thank you for joining us. And we will provide more information. You would need media releases from students who are posting pictures or videos of themselves. I don't know, Ms. Fatal, if you're answering a question for us, but Ms. Fatal said you would need media releases from students who are posting pictures or videos of themselves. So I'm assuming you would use, and thank you, Ms. Fatal. So you would need your releases. And usually those releases are in the opening packet of schools. And some even have them in their agendas that they would need to tear out and return to schools. So we'll be here for a few more minutes, but otherwise, thank you. And then, don't forget, we're here to support. And please visit the Schoology course. And then someone's asking, did Ms. Zarate, Veronica? Let me check if Veronica received access. I'm pretty sure she did.
Jaspreet, I did a search for her and I couldn't find her. So I
I
don't know.
know. I'm searching for her.
Yeah, in the answer, I did give her the Schoology access code again, so she can try again.
I will post the slide with the breakdown of the 80 points. That's also in the framework. Jerry, can you go to the framework in the Schoology course? I think it's or in the awareness meeting, the slide's there somewhere. The slide with the breakdown. Keep going. So this is on the LAUSD website. Keep going forward. Keep going to the breakdown. It's towards after the framework. Yeah. Keep going a little bit more. To the breakdown, it's towards the end. Okay. Yeah, it's right there. So this is the breakdown of the certification requirements. Once you look at the rubric, you'll notice that there's 6 categories. And within those categories, there's elements. And there's a total of 28 elements in the rubric. So we're asking you to get a total of 80 points, and those 80 points are calculated by the following requirements. We're asking everyone to get a 3 in, at least a 3 in most of the elements. We know that, there's no perfect school, there's no perfect program out there, but so we're allowing a maximum of 1, 2 in each of the categories. So for vision, you can have a 2 somewhere. For culture, you can have a 2. So each of the categories, you can have 1, 2, so a total of 6 2s. But along with that, we know that there's something at each school that you will do exceptionally well. So out of the 28 elements, we're asking you to have 2 4s somewhere in those 28 elements. And the rest have to be 3s. No element can have a score of 1. And the reason why is that if you're saying you're ready to be certified, you should be, at a level where you're implementing a pretty strong STEAM program. So that's how the 80 points are broken down. I know it's a little tricky to understand, but we'll make sure that we include this slide in the presentation that we post. So is there any other questions about the requirements? Okay. And while we're waiting for last minute questions, I do want to let you know that this year's rubric that you will be scored against, it's slightly different than last year's. And last year's is slightly different than the year before and completely different from the first cohort that we have. So if you have a friend at another school that was part of the certification last year or the year before, the rubric changes based on their feedback. So they give us feedback. They say, this should be added. This wording isn't quite clear. So you'll be scored against a slightly different rubric. And the goal is that over the years is that we have a pretty decent rubric, but as time changes, as the needs of our schools change, as the need of our students change, and as the need of our teachers change, the rubric will also be changing. So it's a living document.